That's my starting point. Wow! Well, it's not how it's supposed to go. This is supposed to be forwards. How's it going, everyone? It's Mike with this old hot rod. It's kind of a rainy, dreary day this afternoon. I decided to come out in the garage for a little bit, and what I'm working on today is the mount for my gas tank filler. So you can see this template that I'm working on. Let me just try to... What this is going to do is there's the box tubing that comes from the package tray into the deck lid area. The rain gutter is essentially right here, and this is right under the rain gutter. So what I'm doing is I haven't been filming a lot because it's just been a lot of just slow process, you know, thinking mostly. What I came up with, I am going to probably just have to cut this off a little bit. What I have at this point, so basically, let's just say the box tubing is coming out from underneath the car. This is going to mount right here, just like that. And this area right here is the top edge of the deck lid. So this will be underneath. And what I needed to do is I needed to recreate this Z, so I have something to mount this entire flange to, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So this is what I've been working on, and it's kind of intricate. That's why I haven't done a whole lot of filming. But what it is it's just 1-inch 3/16 flat stock. I drilled these 3 holes in it, and I welded some nuts on the back end. I welded the 90-degree corners, and what that's going to end up doing is, so essentially this is the box tubing that comes off the back of the car. This is going to mount inside that, and I'm going to weld that right to the box tubing. So looking inside the deck lid, up in the top right corner of the trunk, quarter panels here, this is what you're going to see. So these are all drilled and threaded with the nuts on the back side. This flange is going to mount right onto that. I like making things removable in case, you know, in case something has to be changed in the future. I don't want to be cutting things off of the body of the car. My next piece to make is this. So it'll end up being like that. This entire thing will be removable. Obviously, I only have a 3/4 inch piece of material, so I'm probably going to end up just using that 3/4 inch, and just having it hang down a little bit. But what I'll end up doing is I'll carry it up and then angle cut it. Depending on when I figure out my angle, then I'll tie it right into this. And the same as up here. It'll come up and then it'll tie into this piece of material here. So it'll be a little more finished off. What I'm using for the material is my buddy Joe, who has helped me do a few things on the car, like drop the steering arms, and he's going to be doing the interior for me. He gave me this real heavy steel plate. I'm going to clean this off. It's just painted. I'm going to clean that off and then use that. I didn't really think I needed to go with anything super heavy, but I wanted to use something a little more substantial than just 18 gauge sheet metal. So that's what I got going on right now. I did not want to weld this into the car until everything was all said and done. At this point now it's all said and done. What I'll be able to do is weld around this. I'll be able to weld on the bottom side and the top side right here on the 1-inch bar stock inside the car. This right here will just be sitting there. It won't be attached to anything. It's just going to be a mounting flange. So just something a little to give it this filler neck a little more integrity. Alright, so I got this marked out. I'm gonna get this cut out real quick, and then we'll get the paint removed from it after I cut it out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this bracket mounted in the trunk area. I'm going to get this mounted to the structure, get this bolted on, and then I can kind of get my angle of my fill tube. And once I can get my angle set, I'll throw a couple of tack welds on the backside to hold it in place. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to get this welded on real quick. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that either. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to get this flange going to get these things, going to get this mounted so I can put this outer lip around it, and I want to make it so it's nice and tight up to this flange, and I don't want anything moving, so you can more or less see how this flange is going to bolt up. I think one of these bolts I got a little bit of weld on it. Doesn't seem to be that one. I may have to just run that tap through it real quick to chase the threads if this one doesn't go in. Alright, yeah, that one went in fine. Yeah, that bolt was just screwed up, I guess. Alright, so that bracket's on there is like it's supposed to be. Now what I want to do, so that's what it looks like as of now. So now what I want to do is I want to get this outer ring on it. As I had said earlier, I have this 3/4 of an inch stock that I basically want to weld. I'm going to cut it to this angle right here so I know it looks good with that. And then what I want to do is I want to bend it and weld it as I go. But I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. I don't want to weld it to the mount. I want to weld it to the actual flange itself. So what I need to do is I just need to kind of slowly make my way around. Gonna have to pie cut here and pie cut here to get it to bend, to follow that contour. So where I need to start first is, thought I had a smaller piece. Where I need to start first is this angle here. So that's going to start right there. And as I said, I'm going to split it so it's sticking halfway above it and halfway below it. This is just to add some integrity to it. I only I only notched it halfway because I don't want to see the weld or the cut above it where you're going to see it. So I only notched it below. Not that you can't see it if you looked, but I'm at least just attempting to try to do it nice and clean. Alright, I'm going to try to bend this down. All right. Now I just guessed on that pie cut, and I need to go more, so I'm gonna open it back up just a touch, and then cut a little more out of there. Make it flat. Alright, so you can see what I have now. So that follows the contour of the flange. Get this metal real quick, cleaned up real quick, and then I'm going to weld it on the bottom side to the actual mount. And then I can start bending it around. It was kind of heading off in the wrong direction. Trying to keep the top edge that you'll see. I'm trying to keep it all somewhat at the same height, about 3/8 of an inch. I'm gonna weld it there. Or not. Don't you hate that? Can't really see what I'm doing. I'm gonna get a couple more welds and then take it out of the vise. So you can see now kind of what it's turning into. I'm just trying to really make sure that I focus on this lip to make sure it stays the same height all the way around and to make sure I don't have any gaps. Alright, so now I gotta cut this pie cut like I did on the other side. Alright, so far that's what my mount looks like. What I want to do is I wanted to fill in this right here with the same material. So I'll probably bend that up real quick and get that filled in, or I don't know, that might be just taking it too far. I'm going to get these bolts undone, get this bracket mounted in the car, or the mount mounted, and then get it installed. And I can get an idea of what angle I need to put my fill tube in at. I can get that cut down. So the fill tube that I got, I don't know what necessarily this is from, but I got that when I was picking up in Maine. And that fill tube is 1 3/4 outer diameter, same as the outlet on the tank. And I found a fill tube hose for a gas tank that was exactly what I needed, and it's from a 1997 and a 1998 Ford Escort. 9 inches long, and it's got a bend in it similar to this. That's why I'm going to end up having to cut this down just a touch and then clamp it on wherever it ends up landing. So I want to get this mounted to the car, get this welded onto the car, and then get this tab, this bracket mounted. Kind of see where I'm at, see what it looks like, you know. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get this bracket welded onto that piece of steel. Get those tacks on there. I'm going to pull that out now and then get it welded on completely. This is a new old stock gas cap, replacement gas cap for a 53 to 56 F100. The nicest thing on the whole car. And that's what it's going to look like. Alright, let's get this welded up real quick, and then that'll basically be done for that, minus putting the hose on. I got it on order, it just hasn't shown up yet. So as soon as it does, it should go together pretty quick. Alright, so I got that welded to the flange, or the mount. I'm only going to put 2 of these screws in, because I think one of them's cutting a little funny. Alright, so the only thing left to do is to put the gas cap on and try to shut the deck lid. Alright, that's it. Working good, fits good, looks good. Like I said, I got that one bolt to chase. I'm going to chase the threads on that. But minus putting on that little piece of hose and a couple of clamps, I'd say that's done. The next project, in the back of the car at least, is going to be the battery hold down. I may end up redoing the box itself because I want it to be, want kind of a flange around it, a place where I can attach the top strap to. I haven't exactly figured out how I'm going to do it yet, but I think I am going to spend a little more time and do a little bit more work on that. Minus attaching the sheet metal, I do have to focus on one more major thing in regards to the sheet metal, which will be the rain gutter. This here, like I had said before, I know there's probably something missing in this region. I'm not exactly sure what that is yet, so I got to jump online, do some research, see if I can figure that out, and then fill in those spaces on either end. Down there at the base, you can see the floor right through it. So I got those 2 pieces to fill in. I have the pieces that are between the quarter panel and the floor of the trunk, and between the frame and the quarter. I have to attach my gas tank to the mount, drill holes in the mount to attach the mount to the body of the frame, attach the skin on the floor. Yeah, I still got probably, you know, a good 3 or 4 days in the trunk of this car by the time it's all said and done in the back here. So just keep chipping away. Alright everybody, thanks for following along. I appreciate everybody watching and supporting me as I'm building the 34 Coupe. Thanks again. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.